1, 2, 3, mic check. 1, 2.
All right, y'all.
Nope.
Wait,
Alright, so,
little technical difficulties.
alright, so we're doing Facebook Live on 3 fronts. We're doing Facebook shows on 3 days. So we're going to start.
Trying to get multiple recordings, see if we can get anybody to watch. Sup. That stands for Sports U Pop.
We're not recording.
Or not.
We're recording. We're else, but not here.
I'm recording here. Are you saying the mics aren't
These
working?
are special editions.
Okay.
We focus on the show. But these are special things.
Okay.
This, which is weird because these all.
So you're saying we should stop all these?
No, we keep this going, but we don't. Well, we do the intro to everything once we got started. So, oh, my bad. Oh shit, we're still learning. So
Yeah, we don't need to.
technically, this is a bread and butter, but we don't make any money. But we don't get anything on
Hear
that. This is
anything from my microphone?
yes.
Yes, he does. It goes down and up, up and down.
It works. All right, so let's go and fire this up. 1, 2, 3. Welcome back to the latest edition of Sports U Pop or Sup or whatever the hell we call this. What do we call it?
It's called SUP, and it's SUP stands for Sports U Pop, standing for sports and pop culture.
Big S, little U, big P on Spotify.
How do I get my little thing running like you got it?
You got all the, this is.
Down here, I'm.
Keep in mind, you. There.
Oh yeah, that worked. Lovely, bro. I'm telling you, man.
What the hell did you do?
Anyways, we haven't recorded in like a month.
Well, you look straight on the line though. Yours is weird.
Oh, well, you'll get comments from both, right?
Well, actually, yeah. See, you look straight on yours, but you messed up the visual on yours. But set up. So,
All right.
I mean, you can always
Anyways.
you can always end it and come back on yours.
We were supposed to record the Saturday during the draft.
But
I had personal problems. Then
so keep your head where
we've
you're at.
been playing podcast tag for about a month now.
Well, that,
My weeks, I was ready to record. Jeremy had stuff going on. The weeks Jeremy was ready to record, I had stuff going on.
I like to ride. What can I say?
He's the new Biker Boys, newest recruit.
You get,
Who played the lead in that movie? All I remember was the Cosby daughter and Lawrence Fishburne.
which one's the Cosby daughter?
The older woman that was it Tyrese?
No, it was not Tyrese. It was not Tyrese.
Are you
It
sure?
was, yeah. The only thing I remember seeing is Antoine Fisher.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right about that. Anyways, he was in love with the older woman who was Lawrence Fishburne, the OG's woman.
No, not even close.
Yeah.
The OG woman was his mom.
Oh.
Not even close.
Anyways, I remember Cosby's daughter. All grown up.
Oh, Cosby's daughter, yeah, she was in love with Lawrence Fishburne, but not,
She played Rudy on the Cosby Show.
yeah, but who was the
Rudy. My favorite Rudy.
Derek Luke was
Yep.
kid.
He's played in a lot of stuff.
Lisa Bonet.
He was doing strictly movies, but then he got into TV. I just watched on episodes of The Americans where he wasn't getting nothing to go against his country. He just like boning the Russian lady.
Sometimes that's all you want to do.
He went out standing up. He's like, just kill me. It was worth it. She was like, I can't kill you. And he's like, you got no other choice. Just kill me.
Just make it happen, you know?
Anyways,
So what we missed?
we missed the draft.
Did we?
Yes.
Okay.
First pick was Cam Ward to
Real
Jacksonville.
quick. Do we want to go through the entire draft, the first round, second round?
We're going to talk about the big hits.
Well, actually, let's cover the first round of the draft.
You want every pick?
The 32 picks.
Okay.
We're just going to name them. That's
Go
all.
them down the line.
Let's see. Who was drafted?
Cam Ward was drafted first. Just put
putting him
2025 NFL draft results.
Look here, Miss. I don't know how to work my phone. Don't tell me how to work my Google.
I can't use my phone. I actually even brought an extra phone for all our YouTube fans, all four of y'all. Appreciate the love.
We've got following YouTube.
I think I got 4 family members that like to see me every once in a while.
I think my wife is one of them too.
So I got 3 family members that like to see me every once in a while.
All right, so let's go ahead and start off. As you said, Cam Ward from Miami Hurricanes, the U, went to the Titans.
Okay, Cam Ward goes first. That's because, not because he's the best player in the draft, but because it's the NFL and you got to keep these quarterbacks till you hit on one. I think in a normal draft, like say it was the Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, like all them came out, Baker Mayfield. I think Cam Ward would be lucky to make it to the first round, but he came out on a weak year.
So he was the best quarterback of the draft class. Is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
and I'm not scared to have him in my division is all I'm saying. And he dissed Jacksonville to the number 2 pick, and the number 2 pick loves Jacksonville. So let's talk about him. The whole thing.
Travis Hunter.
I'm sitting there. I'm
Wait,
like,
go ahead. He's a corner and a wide, right?
Yes.
But he's only listed as a corner.
that's what his main position when you had to list them. They're so far behind the system.
Okay, he was spare. Okay.
He's only practiced wide receiver with us so far because the wide receiver learning the routes and stuff is supposedly way harder than. They say he's a better corner, so they want to get him in all the work at wide receiver. But the story of Travis Hunter was what I was going to tell. I was not excited for this draft as 9 out of 10 mockers had us getting Mason Graham at pick number 5.
Man, I'm called bullshit on that. If you go listen to previous episodes, you're so excited about the draft.
Excited for the draft, for the new thing. I love the draft, all that. But that night I almost didn't even watch it, but I was like, all right. I went up to a Mexican restaurant to drink a margarita, eat some tacos, and watch. And then
Which one?
La Nopalera.
Mexican restaurant.
But anyways, Cam Ward's took and Cleveland's on the board. And it's like 40 seconds, and it says Jacksonville's on the clock. I'm like, whoa, wait, what happened?
Because we got 3 recordings, maintain your audio levels, this way it doesn't hit all 3.
So anyways, I was very excited about it. We got Travis Hunter, my favorite player, coming in, who is also a unicorn. He is like taking 2 players. So everyone's like, oh, we gave up a player, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, we basically just used our pick this year we picked 2 players. Travis Hunter.
He's only hurt in the offseason.
Everyone's like, how are you going to use him? How are you going to use him? Well, Liam Cohen said he's going to let Travis be Travis. But even in the NFL,
What does that mean?
That means he's going to be on the field all game.
Oh, okay.
That's not going to happen. He's going to need breathers. When he comes in at corner, I think, even though he's probably the best skilled corner, he'll be the number 2 guy. And then they'll have Tyson Campbell on the number 1, at least this year. Hopefully that switches in year 2 or 3. And then he's going to be in there with BTJ. I've watched our OTAs. Last year, we just lined up basic formations. No, what do you call that? When the guy's going down. Anyways, they're going to create mix match when they go into motion. That's what it's called. And whenever you have BTJ and Travis Hunter both running routes lined up next to each other, so there's going to be a mismatch either in the corner or the safety. Maybe a linebacker tries to cover. It's going to be great for Jacksonville. He loves the city. You see all the positive character issue stuff, like the lady sitting next to him on the plane. She went and seen her kids out in Denver, and then she was on her way back to Jacksonville on a flight. Now, she was just so impressed by this young man. She didn't even know who he was. But then she was like, well, what do you do? And he's like, oh, I just got drafted yesterday. He had on Jaguar print pants. She was like, oh, yeah, you look like some type of athlete. And he was like, yeah. But she wrote a whole post about it. He's supposedly giving her merch. Or no, she said she told her kids to go buy her a jersey for her birthday. She wants to Travis Hunter. He's always dancing around camp. Fans loved it. Practice 1 and 2. Now they say they're getting tired of it. That's just Travis being Travis. It's not a big deal. He dances. As long as he's catching balls. Yes, his route running needs to be refined. He's gotten away with just ability. Once he gets crisper routes, he'll be fine. I say instead of playing him 100% of the game, play him 75% offense and put him on 80% defense. That should be good enough.
Okay, moving on. The Giants drafted Abdul Carter, edge rusher out of Penn State. Any thoughts there?
Giants do what the Giants do, man. What they've made a name on. Can't have too many pass rushers. Bill Parcells did it in Lawrence Taylor days. Then you had the Strahan, Justin Tuck. Who else was on the OC Umanor, I think his name was. I'm telling you, these guys, they get lucky with these pass rushers. Abdul Carter, many say he was the best overall in the draft. It was between him and Travis. I think Travis gets the edge because he plays two sides. But Abdul Carter, if Travis was just a corner or just a wide receiver, Abdul Carter would probably be the best in the game coming out in this draft. Real good for them.
Okay. Next, we got Will Campbell, LSU offensive tackle, which I thought Jackson would grab him, actually.
I thought about it, and
that was what I wanted.
It wasn't a sexy pick. A lot of people say he's gonna have to move into guard, and I'm like, are we gonna take a guard with the 5th pick? That's rare. But if you get a guy like Tyron Smith, who you plug in for 12 years as a starter, and he goes all pro in his first 2 years, then it is worth a 5th pick.
Well, the idea is he's interchangeable. He can play any position on the line. That was the idea of it.
They'll probably start him at guard.
He's a tackle. Let him tackle. It means he can also he's in transition.
As he grows into his man body, they'll probably move him out to tackle. Yeah, his man body. He was thrown. Oh no, this is the next pick on Campbell. Anyways, Campbell, they said he had. They're gonna echo no matter what I do, bro.
I know.
But anyways, he prides himself on keeping his quarterback clean. He said, "Ask Jaden Daniels how it is like playing with me," and he likes Drake May. And he said he's gonna keep Drake. He's gonna do his job to keep Drake May untouched during games.
What about Mason Graham?
I loved him when he was with JT Daniels, but we'll see. Now going on to the 5th pick, such and such selected. That's
Mason Graham to the Browns.
Okay, so the Browns take Mason Graham. I did not want this guy, and everyone was mocking him to us. And so compare his first practices at Cleveland, where he's throwing up everywhere because of the heat. That's in Cleveland. If he'd have been down here in this Florida heat, I don't know if he would have made it through a practice.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
He's undersized, underspeed. He was on a lot of games because he played at Michigan, so a lot of people seen him play. Let's just say good for Cleveland, I guess. They got a lot of other holes, and they tried to cover him in the back half since we're not going through every pick, they took the Oregon quarterback in the 4th, and then they took Shador in the 5th.
We'll get there. We're still in the 1st.
You said we're doing the 1st round.
Yeah, those guys aren't in the 1st.
I know, but I'm saying, I'm bringing it up. They're a mess.
Yeah, we'll get there. So the Raiders grabbed Ashton Jenny.
And with the 6th pick, the Raiders selected running back from Boise State, Ashton Jeanty, which that's a Raider pick. That's what they do. They either go fastest guy they can find or they go a skill player. That's them. And Ashton Jeanty, who I think he was like 30 yards from breaking Barry Sanders' yards from the grind, basically 2,500 yards rushing last year. I know he wasn't playing the best competition and stuff, but just any running back getting that is crazy.
All right, and with the 7th pick,
there you go.
The New York Jets picked Armand Membu out of Missouri.
Okay,
offensive tackle.
Now, if that second quarterback would have got the love people thought he might get, I was hoping at number 5 we could have traded back a few spots and we would get this tackle instead of if we would have missed on Campbell because he would have went right before us. He's more man-bodied than Will Campbell. He's a beast.
Man
Bigger
body.
guy.
What's a man body?
He's fucking looks like an adult. He don't look like he's a college player. He looks like he's been in the league 5 years already.
Ah, okay. And with the 8th pick, the Carolina Panthers chose McMillan.
They call him Tet.
Wide receiver.
Very good pick for them, I think. They could have maybe
Tetero.
got the edge rusher
Tetero.
from Georgia, Michael Williams, but they didn't. They, Tet McMillan to them, that's real good. He was the second receiver behind Travis Hunter. And if Travis Hunter would have played
Travis
corner,
Hunter.
just corner, Tet would have been the first receiver. He's a big guy, a little bit shorter, but he's got muscles. It's a good pick for Carolina.
Wide receivers are a dime a dozen in the NFL.
Yeah, but with today's playbooks, you need them because when you're look what happens to Jacksonville.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
We come in with an
picking a
impressive on paper. 2
Picking
injuries
a wide
happen. We
receiver in the
suck.
first round is, for me, has never made sense. It's always been a dime a
It
dozen.
pays off second most.
In the NFL, every NFL year, you have one or two that stand out completely. It's usually actually only goes undrafted or it gets drafted late.
I mean, Jamar Chase went second overall. That paid off.
Did it?
Justin Jefferson, he fell back to 21, but that's paid off.
And then who else?
All the top receivers in the NFL right now are first round picks.
And how many of them have Super Bowl ring?
Who played? AJ Brown. Did he?
And one of the ones that went to the Super
The
Bowl last year.
Alabama. Devontae Smith was a first round pick. He got him a ring. So
Last year?
yes, last year,
Okay.
and he wasn't even the number one
So
receiver on
every
his
year,
team.
only 5 to 6 wide receivers get a Super Bowl ring.
No, only 5 wide receivers get a ring. Usually, the number one
No,
is a
the-
first or second round pick.
Usually some have 5, some have 6 wide receivers on the roster. So
Name a
usually
late
5 or
round
6.
starting wide receiver in the NFL.
I said that earlier.
You said they're dime a dozen.
They are.
I beg to differ. You got to get in drafts. You usually have 5 to 10 blue chippers, and then the rest are 4-star guys. I'd say Tet is a 4-star guy. In a normal draft, he would have went later. Or what I say is normal is a more. There wasn't too many blue chips coming out. I think there was 3 this year.
So with the number 9 pick, Kevin Banks goes.
Who selects Kevin Banks?
The Saints selects Kevin Banks Jr., Texas, offensive lineman.
I just read on him. I'm not familiar. I actually don't think he was supposed to go that high, but he was supposed to go in the late teens. I think I saw him mocked a lot. So he goes probably 5 picks earlier than people thought, but the Saints need a lot of help, and I'm glad they didn't take that second quarterback with the first round pick, but he was there in the second, he was there in the third, he was there in the fourth, he was there in the fifth, and you didn't take him. And then Carr tells you 2 weeks after the draft he's retiring, which, come on, Derek, you could have told them that before draft night. What
so you're saying
changed?
there's a chance Aaron Rodgers could end up with the.
Aaron Rodgers has said he will not play for the Saints. He said he's too young to live in New Orleans. I think he wants to also live in one of them states where they ain't taking all your money. I think that's why he's avoiding the Steelers.
Property tax. Or not property tax,
A-Rod's looking for an injury to happen where he can slide in and have a good team around him. He's looking to see if Tua gets hurt. He can come to Florida, no state tax, and something like that. If he was going to Pittsburgh, I think he would already sign there by now. It's been way too long talking. I think Tomlin's over it. But Tomlin probably should have threw
That's a
some
later
money.
conversation. Different
He
conversation.
probably should have thrown some money at Justin
That's a different
Fields.
conversation. That's a different conversation. With the number 1
And
pick,
with the 10th pick,
the Chicago Bears choose Colston Loveland, Michigan tight end.
this is he was people see what the guy from Georgia who went to the Raiders did last year. If you get one of these real good catching guys that can do a little bit of blocking, they're starting to go earlier now. And he's going to Cleveland. It gives Caleb Williams another weapon, which he needs. He needs some line help. I don't know if they address that in the later rounds or not, but they're definitely, the culture's changing there.
Well, tight end's always been a catcher as well. Third or fifth wideout on the team.
Who?
Tight ends.
Oh, well, their number one guy's been their tight end, Cole Kmet.
I'm saying there's always.
So now you're going to have Cole Kmet out there with Loveland. It's going to be nice.
True.
Definitely someone's going to be on a mismatch.
And with the number 11 pick, the San Francisco 49ers choose Mikael Williams, Georgia, edge rusher.
Georgia has become a lot like Alabama whenever you look at their linemen, offensive and defense. It's like, is this guy good because he's playing with 3 or 4 other stars, or is he got the goods? I believe this guy has the goods, and he's going to do good in San Francisco where our linemen always usually do.
And I went wait and see, guys, so that's me. With the number 12 pick, the Dallas Cowboys choose Tyler Booker, Alabama, offensive guard.
Okay, see, Alabama does a thing there, a system that I guess has changed since Saban left, where you start at guard your first 2 years, or you play guard your first 2 years, and then you move to tackle. This guy never made it to tackle under the new regime, so that shows the new coach. I didn't hear of this coach before he got the job, so I still don't know his name. Saban's been there forever. You want to say Saban, but Saban's having his own. He isn't having a Belichick moment, but he's on TV.
Kalen DeBoer.
DeBoer. Anyways, he's running stuff different, obviously.
And with the number 13th pick, the Miami Dolphins choose defensive tackle Kenneth Grant.
Okay, you see all these Michigan guys going, I'm telling you, whenever you make it that far in the playoff and you get those extra games played on TV in front of bigger crowds, it helps. I'm not going to act like I ever heard of Kenneth Grant before, though. This is the part of the draft where I told you it was a weak draft. But, hey, good for the Dolphins. I would have got another offensive lineman trying to save Tua with the best line in the league, but they went defensive.
We're going to speed up a little bit. So.
Oh, you just want to get the big names now?
No, I'm on this, everybody. We're just not going to give a dissertation for each one of them.
Okay.
14th, the Colts chose Tyler Warren, tight end out of Penn State. Anything special about him that you want to address?
I don't know him.
He
took over for Britton Strange. That's all I know.
This one
I do know.
This one makes sense. I know the name as well. It's number 15. Jalen Walker gets picked by the
Falcons. He's staying in
town.
Staying in
Georgia. I think he's actually going to be a staple for the Falcons.
Falcons defense, even when they're good, they're like a no-name defense, but they haven't been good the past 3 years. So hopefully it makes them a little better.
Do I expect him to be in his entire career? No, but I do expect him to put at least half his season, or half his career there.
I had one friend who went to the NFL, and he said he did not want to go to the home team. He wanted to get away. Being a pro athlete was hard enough. That guy got drafted to his home team.
Rasheed Mathis?
No, D-Web.
Oh, okay. That's the one that I never know yet.
I went to school with D-Web since a 5th grader.
Gotcha.
Should have played baseball. Would have probably been in the Hall of Fame.
With the number 16 pick, Cards choose Walter Nolan, defense tackle of Ole Miss. Okay.
I do know him. He's going to the Cardinals. They've been up in their D. That's good for them, but that's another team that I probably would have went with either a receiver or a offensive tackle for small guy, the smallest guy. Well, actually, Bryce Young is smaller than him, I think. They're both like 5'9", 5'10".
With the number 70th pick, we got Bengals going with Shamar Stewart, Texas A&M edge rusher. I think that was a good pick for them. I really do.
Yeah, their Hendrickson's went out of there, and he had like 19 sacks last year. So I think this is if Hendrickson stays, we got some studs on both sides, and if he leaves, we got a replacement. So it's smart.
With the number 18th pick, we got the Seahawks grabbed Gray Zabel, guard out of North Dakota State. Who? A guard.
Pete Carroll didn't go to them. He went to the Raiders, right? Who is in Seattle? I forget. They're changing things up there. They let freaking their quarterback go to the Raiders after coming off 2 Pro Bowls. But
Mike McDonald.
yeah, he's an idiot. But
Why is that?
he's
Look at
just
that smile.
he's just the guy that got the job because he's young and new face. He hasn't messed up enough to not get the jobs.
With the number 19th pick,
He's younger
Bucks,
than me, if that
grab
tells you anything.
Mika Egbuka. Oh, I apologize if I mispronounced it. Egbuka.
Emeka Egbuka from Ole Miss. He's a wide
That's from
receiver.
Ohio State.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I said Ole Miss.
The Ohio State.
Ohio State and LSU are basically wide receiver universities. They put 1 or 2 in the league every year, and they're usually in early rounds. Jamar
Alabama does
Chase,
that too,
Justin
doesn't it?
Jefferson. They had that for a while when they had like 5 guys who went in the first round in 2 years. Alabama puts out studs at every position, or they did in the
Arizona
same.
does that too, don't they?
No. Arizona?
Arizona State.
No.
Okay.
But Ohio State, they put out some studs the past 2 years. One of the best rookies last year was from Ohio State.
With number 20 pick, the Broncos grabbed Jade Barron, Texas cornerback.
So he'll play on the other side of Surtain. That's what their coach, Sean Payton, I've always liked him, even in his early years with the Saints when he had Reggie Bush. And I'm telling you, he's went over here and he's starting to do things good for them too. So the Broncos will have a strong defense, and they've got their mini Drew Brees and Bo Nix. So
He's gonna play special teams.
no,
Special teams.
he'll be CB2.
Special teams.
And then if Surtain wants a huge deal, they let him out, and they got a replacement.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's why I say special teams.
Sometimes these first round picks, they get picked because of that. They get rushed up, or
With the 21st pick, the Steelers went Derek Hammond, defensive tackle of Oregon.
okay, I'm not familiar. Oregon was real good last year, but their offense stayed putting up points.
22nd was the Chargers with Marianne Hampton, who's a running back out of North Carolina.
Okay, I did see this guy, and whenever Drake May was coming out, and he was a year younger. He's going to the Chargers.
Yep. 23, Packers grabbed Matthew Golden, wide receiver at Texas.
Okay, I do know this guy. He's got some size to him. Some people thought he could have probably went like 5 picks earlier. I seen him mock, but yeah, good for him.
All right, this one I thought was a decent pick. The Vikings grabbed with 24 pick went Donovan Jackson, Ohio State guard. I think that's a good pick for them.
This is about when the guards start to come off the board. He's what, the second?
Well, usually guards and linemen come out second or third. I mean, you're the standout.
And they come out at the end of the first if they're studs.
True. Number 25, we got Jackson Dart, went to New York. Quarterback out of Ole Miss. Did not see that happening.
I did. I called it. I said he would go at the end of the second. I said he should probably go
You said he should go
before
to Giants.
Shador. I didn't know the Giants had a second pick.
Looks like they switched to the Falcons.
Yeah, see, it wasn't there before.
Well,
They was just one pick. Dang, I guess
pick
they were
number
real
26.
scared the Falcons were gonna pick him.
Falcons number 26 pick went James
James
Pierce
Pierce
Jr.
Jr. I was hoping James
Tennessee.
Pierce would get drafted to his dad's team, but he ain't got the job no more. So I don't know where he went. Antonio Pierce with the Raiders, who I think got a raw deal, even though I think the new regime's probably better than what he had. But as Pete Carroll has some Super Bowl rings and stuff, a lot of Final Four appearances, definitely.
With the 27th pick, the Ravens went Malachi Starks, safety out of Georgia. That is a good pick.
Yes, very good. Baltimore.
Yeah, Ravens. Is he going to be the next Ed Reed? I'm not sure about
Their
that.
coach
But he's going to be
loves a
beast.
good safety. There'll never be another Ed Reed. Travis Hunter might be, but if he just played corner.
But Malachi Starks is going to be a beast for them.
It's a very good pick. I was hoping if the Jags had an early one in the second, if he slipped somehow. I don't like our safeties. I've let it be known. I hated last year's safeties, and I think the replacements are worse, so we'll see.
28, Detroit Lions went Tyleek Williams, defensive tackle of Ohio State.
I looked at this guy for a potential second, and, I liked him, but we didn't. Obviously, he got took before we could pick again.
I think so. Then this is a good pick, I think. It was
Josh Conley.
the 29. We got the Commanders going to Josh Conley Jr., tackle of Oregon. I think that's a good pick for them. 30, we got Maxwell Harrison, picked by the Bills. He's a corner out of Kentucky.
Not familiar. This next guy, I know, Jaheed Campbell, linebacker. He was
Alabama. Went to
big signing when he went to Alabama.
He's
And
now a screaming chicken.
he never had like that super breakout year, but he was always consistent. I think losing Saban hurt guys like Campbell.
With number 32, we got Josh Simmons getting picked up by Chiefs, Ohio State tackle.
You see what the Chiefs do. They keep getting linemen. They let one go, an older one. Now they're drafting younger. They will always try to protect Patrick Mahomes, and that's why they'll always, if Mahomes is healthy, they'll always be in those last Final Four spots. The rich get richer. The Chiefs are the best team at picking late in a round. I think when they went to the Super Bowl, not this time, the time before, they had 5 rookies that got good playing time. I think 6 played in the game, but like 5 of them got lots of plays.
All right, let me just.
I'm talking 7th round picks, 6th round picks, like late guys they hit on. That's why they stay good. Are you looking for names in the second round?
Yeah, I'm just looking for big names in the second round.
I should have watched whatever.
Tate Ryledge went 25th to Detroit.
Pick up, just show the Jaguars full draft.
Well, then,
Because I did my research on these guys.
I'll get there.
The next big pick that everyone would talk about would be in round 5, what Cleveland did whenever they took Deion's son, a pick after.
Well, we're only in round number 3. So.
Yeah, you're not gonna mention any of these guys. These guys.
Jacksonville grabbed Caleb Ransaw out of Tulane.
Corner.
Okay.
Which
And Wyatt Millen.
he was a safety. He only played corner for 2 weeks at the All-Star Shrine Bowl or whatever, and they're gonna turn him.
So he's a Mathis pick. Rasheed Mathis, who was a safety who played corner for us.
Yes.
So then you got Wyatt Millen, West Virginia guard.
Which I liked. We need guard help very bad.
Yeah,
I thought we should have signed someone this year. We got tackle, which was good. There he goes, Dylan Gabriel, quarterback, Oregon.
Where?
Number 30.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Oregon's the king of making backup quarterbacks. And this guy's going to fight for his backup spot with a guy who's probably equally as talented. Everyone talks about how good his completion percentage was, blah, blah, blah. That's because they count the years at Jackson State.
What did Jacksonville give up for the switch to go up 5 with the 2?
I think our second, and then our first next year.
Okay. This year, and in the 4th, Jacksonville picked Number 104.
This is it, boy.
Shul Tutton,
Tutton.
running back at Virginia Tech.
This is a move saying ETN's days are gone. Tutton is a very skilled player, like what do you call those knights with all the Swiss Army knife? Like he can catch out the backfield, he can
He's a
run up the
utility
middle, he can run in the outside, he can play special teams. This was a big pick. That's why whenever in the end we take another running back from Syracuse, it's like, yeah, ETN's gonna be gone. Maybe before week 1.
You want to trade him?
But look at our next pick.
Jack Kaiser, running back around
I
Notre
think
Dame.
he had the most tackles of anyone who finished their career this year and went into the draft. He had tons of tackles. He's a tackling machine. This tells me, Lloyd, I think, has a longer deal because he was a first-round pick. But what was the white guy we got from North Dakota on our team? Oh, my God, I can't
Look at
believe
that.
He's started for us many games. But anyways, I think he might be out because he'll be on a second contract. It's a money decision, not a...
All right, so we're in the 5th now. And with the 144th pick, the Cleveland Browns choose Shador Sanders of Colorado, quarterback.
So, a lot of people believe Shador is probably more talented than Dylan Gabriel. I say they're a lot closer than people would think. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting because their quarterback situation with Deshaun Watson, and they let Jameis Winston and I forget who they have there to be their starter this year. It's crazy. Cleveland, y'all are a mess. Now, I do not think Shador should have slid this far. A lot of it is because of his attitude. People think having him as your backup, it could create a Tebow situation where that's all the reporters want to talk about, and they're all going to be in camp, and it's going to be a situation. It's not worth it for a guy who will probably start as a backup. Shador will get his chances. He's a nepo baby.
I think he's going to be like Bronny Jr.
No, okay, now there's a difference. Barani didn't have the size, skill, any of that. Shador had the best completion percentage last year in college.
At Colorado.
Well, look what Colorado did before they got there. They won 3 more games than they did the year before their first year, and then they were an 8-win team that should have been a 10-win team last year. They changed Colorado. You can't overlook how bad that team was whenever they got there, and then they were in a bowl game last year.
I have no doubt, but at the same time, it's...
But also, the turnaround is because of the power of their dad as a coach to be able to get the first number 1 player coming out of high school went to Jackson State. Like, that's crazy. That he didn't sign with a D2 school, D3. He went to low bottom all black school. HBC, which they got white boys on the team. They had Belichick's son on that team. Not Belichick's son, Belichick's grandson. I think maybe he started hanging around his grandson too much.
I don't know about all that.
Belichick is having a late life crisis.
Man, he's got money.
That girl's pulling him by the nose, running all his stuff.
She ain't pulling him by the nose.
I know what she's pulling him by, but I can't.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that's why he's with her. So, but more power to him. Let's see.
By the way, I love that Notre Dame pick, and the Jags got Kaiser.
We'll see. Man, I like it too, but we'll see if it pays out. Actually, because he's not the first one that will pay out. He'll end up being.
He'll probably, in the second year, will probably get a lot more playing time.
Probably. So let's see. Number 13. Well, Dolphins grab Jason McDonald off Florida corner, and then thoughts there, or don't care.
Florida corners are notorious for not living up to it. Joe Hayden is the exception.
We say corner, not quarterback.
And say DBs, Florida DBs. Sometimes they get some good safeties. Their corners, womp womp.
Denzel Burke, that guy by the Cardinals.
I don't know who he is.
Corner of Ohio State. The Ohio State.
Couldn't have been that good to get drafted that late.
Well, getting drafted in Germany is kind of good. So.
No, I think Cleveland, y'all might as well not even took Shador. Hopefully the Saints would have took him in round 7. But if he's the guy that probably wishes he didn't get drafted so he could have picked where he went.
And let's see.
Jason McLeod,
Sixth
Auburn.
pick, Jason McLeod. Jason McLeod, Auburn linebacker.
Go down.
Was he an outside linebacker or in the middle?
I never watched him play. I didn't see any Auburn games.
Rayon Lane.
Usually, if they're outside linebacker, it would say that, right? OLB. He's probably a
He used to-
linebacker. These linebackers today can play multiple spots.
They can play all 3 slots or all 4
2 or
slots.
3 usually.
Uh,
Ryan Lane the third.
Safety to out of Navy.
High character guy for the locker room. Same as Travis Hunter.
Okay, as Travis gets a little too rambunctious, you got him to bring him down and say,
Well,
okay,
this comes down to a lot of these corners and stuff. This is another guy who's a steal for Carolina, by the way. Jimmy Horn Jr. He played at Colorado, and yeah, I know he didn't have the number 1 corners on him because they were grabbing Hunter. But I watched him play enough, and he probably went around later than he should have, but he got drafted. His dad, I believe, is in prison, and they let him come out for the draft or something. It was crazy. It's pretty cool.
'Cause that's something everyone could say.
Yeah, I know. I figured they let you out for like funerals to go to, and not your son getting drafted. Hey,
Yeah, well, it depends. It depends on who you are and who your
first
son-
time
kids
for
are, I guess.
everything.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Dion pulled those strings.
Jonah Monaheim.
Coming from
Center of
USC, these are guys that might have potential. California is great. Oregon and USC get the best of the West Coast guys. Then UCLA, Oregon State,
What about Cal?
Arizona. No, Cal's been bad for a while. But
So Maurice Jones-Drew and
I'm talking about lately.
okay.
But yeah, even then, the Oregon probably came around 2000, and then but Cal was good in those early 2000s when they had Aaron Rodgers. UCLA, Mojo didn't want to be there. I think he wanted to go to USC, but he knew he wasn't going to get playing time with Reggie Bush and all them there.
Jonah Monaheim is who we grabbed.
He's 6'4", so he's got some size.
Started 18 games at right tackle, 12 games at center, 12 at left, and 4 games at right guard. He's projected.
We
as-
definitely need help at center.
He moves well and fits best in the zone-heavy run scheme. Okay.
I wonder if he long snaps too, because our long snapper went to some Pro Bowls and now he's worth some big money on the market.
Well, we already really
So it could be a decision. Now, I think our last pick is from Syracuse,
Yep, running back LaQuint Allen, Syracuse.
which I hear has the talent to have went a lot earlier, but playing for Syracuse, he fell back. He led the ACC with 16 touchdowns and set program records for receptions and receiving yards. He's a running back, by the way, and he's setting reception
521
records.
yards instead of running back. Or
Yes,
reception.
he's a running back. Tells me that ETN's probably out the door and Tank might be behind him the year after. Now, I'm in some Jacksonville boards and they're all like, oh, ETN, they're forgetting what he did, blah, blah, blah. Running backs get old quick sometimes. Ask Rams fans how they felt about Todd Gurley being the man and then literally falling off. It happens.
Well, you gotta remember
I went to
sometimes they take more damage than quarterbacks.
every home game I went to when ETN was in, we wouldn't do nothing. At the Colts game, we don't win that game without Tank Bigsby's two long runs he had in that game. It was momentum changers. And then when we got on top, we stayed on top that game. The Colts never died, but I'm telling you, Tank should be the starter. You get rid of ETN, get him off the books. June 1st cut. Maybe he's already in for June 1st. Maybe you just see how things look in training camp, but I say the quicker you can move on from him, take a 4th round pick for him if you can, 5th. Get him out of there and let these young guys get their reps in training camp.
Okay. So now that we're off the NFL draft, let's get to some of the pop culture. Actually, no, we're going to talk about a couple of things. Talk about things, some of the NFL, I guess.
Some of these we
leaving-
can probably skip, though, as they're old news.
So, well,
We will talk about the prank call first, since we're just getting off the draft.
Yeah, let's talk about it. All right, so let me go on. So, because we're, I don't know, a month out of the draft since it happened, since last time we recorded.
The big story from first round to the 5th was why is Shador slipping? Well, I guess the defensive coordinator for the Falcons' son thought it would be funny if he called. He had his number somehow, even though he's a defensive guy. They get Shador's number, and he prank called Shador and was like, "Oh, you're going to the Saints." I think he said. I think he said Falcons,
He said,
which made a lot of sense.
He said, "This is so and so at the Saints. You got a long way to go." They hung up on him.
So
the NFL came down hard on the Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich because of his son. His son prank called Shador Sanders during the NFL draft.
So Ulbricht's probably working for free this year.
Yeah.
Or is he the defensive coordinator?
Do you see it?
Okay, so he's probably making $400,000.
The league fined the Falcons $250K and fined Ulbrich $100,000 for the incident, according to NFL Network's Tom Pelissero. I think it's a little. I think that's a lot of. That's a lot of money.
I want to know where fine money goes
That's a lot
to.
of money. Saying it's just a prank. The fuck?
And did it when you covered my mic with your hand.
So you're talking over it. But I think those are kind of excessive. You know what I mean? But because it was just
I
a
think
call.
it's
It's not like he gave the numbers out.
he probably should have got fined $50K because, like you said, he don't make millions like the head coaches do. He's a mid at best defensive coordinator, so he's probably making $400,000 at the most, and now he's gonna lose a quarter of that
Well, at the same
because
time,
his son did some stupid stuff.
he didn't.
Yes,
push.
you can found the Falcons 250 because they have it. Ulbrich, that's a big loss for him.
He didn't give the number for everyone else to call too. And
I would have took my son's cars, everything. I'd make his life hell this next year.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his son's in college. But
what
so
I'm saying,
Shador
take his
Sanders
cars.
is not the only one they did it to. They also did it to Tyler Warren,
Oh, I didn't know this part.
Chase Lunt, and some anonymous undrafted
Kyle
player,
McCord is a quarterback.
and an anonymous player who was told they were being traded after being drafted. I really wish I knew who that was.
I'm not getting no love on this Facebook. I'll cut it off.
No, keep it going, because it's still views.
Oh, how many views?
We're cut it off.
Yeah, we got yours still going.
Mike Tomlin before the draft says he wasn't going to clear the air or anything that's gone with Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers is situated. This was a couple weeks ago. Situated came up on Tuesday during the Steelers pre-draft press conference, but head coach Mike Tomlin's put in concerns to rest quickly. When asked if Rodgers' situation had an impact on the Steelers' draft strategy when it comes to drafting a quarterback, Tomlin sensibly said it does not and moved on.
I don't believe that though.
So the reason why he hasn't announced his status in the NFL is because apparently he got married or is making plans to get married.
Who, Rodgers?
Yep.
That guy never learns.
Ravens released Justin Tucker, who was accused of sexual misconduct by 16 women.
Basically doing the Deshaun.
You were my comment there.
Oh, I didn't see. I didn't. He's doing the Deshaun.
He's
Messing with the masseuse, which
that's
I've
the-
heard a couple of guys have also, maybe it was only one or two, but it's the thing these players do. They think they got all the money and a masseuse would be lucky to have them. They're lucky to play with their bodies.
The Ravens released Justin Tucker without addressing any of the off-field allegations, which I think was a smart choice. This way, This way, if it comes up that was all bunk or bullshit, therefore he cannot be sued for false termination or for unjustified termination.
We'll do this one quick.
Jaguars released wide receiver Gabe Davis of his 1 year after 1 year of signing $39 million.
For the hit we're gonna take, we might as well have kept him and just had him as fifth. Maybe the Jags are like, yeah, we're trying to run. Oh, he wouldn't have been worth anything on the trade market. He was viewed as numbers got pumped because he played with Josh Allen in that high-powered offense, and that playing for a regular offense last year showed we can do. Mitch Morse said he was hurt all year and he didn't complain, and he was a great teammate, great for the locker room, and they should have owed him another year. I can get down with that, but I also don't know what these Baselli and Gladstone and the new coach have planned. What's his name? Liam Cohen.
Complete an investigation and disturbing video that appeared to show a woman hurling racist slurs at a child.
Okay, so we're off sports or off football.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, there's one more football thing under. I thought we should do.
We'll get there because this is more pop culture.
Okay.
Because it's not about him; it's about the fan. On May 5th, that shows you how far we are behind. Rochester Police Department said they had passed their findings to the city attorney's office with a review of a charging decision. The woman seen in the video has been identified as Shiloh Hendricks, has since raised over $660,000 to help protect herself and her family. This is the woman that was dropping the N-word about in a park.
Oh, I saw it.
And then ironically, the guy that and the guy recording it was a foreign descent, but those rumors are going around the line that he was actually a sexual predator, or he was on a list.
Who knows? You can't believe anything online anymore.
For all we know, it could have been done by her ilk, or her ilk. All right, so Shedeur Sanders fan sues the NFL for $100 million over emotional distress caused by his low draft pick.
Every pick, that's all they were talking about. It's the biggest slide since Aaron Rodgers.
A crestfallen Shedeur Sanders enthusiast is suing for $100 million over the much-hyped quarterback's disappointing high fifth-round draft pick, claiming he suffered emotional distress and trauma as fan and consumer because the 23-year-old phenomenon wasn't selected earlier.
He is not a phenomenon.
I'm telling you right now.
He's just Deion's kid with some talent.
It was an immediate frustration. The fan who filed the claim as an immediate John Doe. Get fucked. Didn't want to put his name out there. Told the Independent on a condition his real name not being published. The guy who was projected to be the first or second round, no later than top 5, and watched mediocre players be chosen before him. It was frustrating.
I'm thinking Mr. Doe is friends with a lawyer that would do this for him, and the lawyer probably told him, yeah, this is probably going to get thrown out, but they did it to get the little headlines they got.
I'm thinking
has a couple of TikToks talking about it.
I'm thinking Mr. Doe made a bet on Shedeur again. Was drafted and he lost.
Oh yeah, poor Mr. Doe. Look, I thought maybe third round for him was where his talent level went, and I thought with his name he could have went late first, early second, but there's been worse quarterbacks selected earlier, and there has been greater quarterbacks selected after Mr. Tom Brady.
So
that's what Tom told him. Hey, go in there and do like his Michigan coach told him. Or I think it was his high school coach. You make the best. No, it was Michigan because he was behind Drew Henson. Mm-hmm. He told him make the best, and he said, hey, I might only get 3 reps in practice, but I made them the best 3 reps from the quarterback position, and that's what he told. We'll see what happens with this guy. The cream always rises to the top in the NFL. If he's in practice showing out, they're gonna play him. But if he's not, which I've heard he's had some awful throws going down.
At the same time, I mean, like I said, we'll see what happens. And he's only signed to a 2-year contract, so which means to quote.
I didn't even know rookies could sign 2-year contracts.
Yeah, 2-year contracts. To quote,
that means he wants to get out of there quick.
To quote Triple H, you're either gonna find out I'm worth less are worth a lot more.
More, yep.
Speaking of wrestling, 90s WWE fans, wrestler Duke the Dumpster Drose was arrested for trying to buy child
Porn.
pornography. Thank you. I didn't know if I was going to say it or not.
Yeah.
But according to Attorney General, was
Korn.
indicted
That's
by
what you were supposed to
Korn.
call it.
Yes, Kern was a Warren County grand jury in May. According to the release, the DA Chris Sanford, 31st Judicial District, it was alleged that Josie used a Coinbase account in an attempt to purchase child porn on the dark web. The release reads, recognized that the transaction was declined the payment. Okay.
I saw a shoot interview with him about
The
7 years ago.
The company that sent a tip to the FBI, Why is this important to me? Now it's important. Why am I mentioning this? Because he was part of the BSK, Bowling Street Crew.
Yes, early. And then he started hanging out with Steve once Undertaker didn't like him. But
Steve.
Austin. That's Austin's first year when he's a ringmaster. And they had a falling out right before he got fired.
Did they?
Yeah. I think he's stole some stuff in the locker room, I think. But yeah, he's not liked by other wrestlers because of whatever happened with him and Taker, and then whatever happened with him and Steve in the locker room stuff. But seemed like a great interview. He told good stories. So this kind of surprised me, but I did hear his name mentioned on another one where he was one of the guys that would go to Mexico and get all the GHB and all the somas and all that, and had it going down in the locker room.
No, a little side business going on. Okay.
Yes, that's how he was making his money to keep up, because whenever you're a lower wrestler in WWE, you're paying for your hotels, you're paying for your rental cars, and when you're not getting a lot of TV time like that guy, you're around a lot of guys that have money that love what's in Mexico. You take that risk, and I never heard about him getting arrested, so looks like it worked out for him.
Well, back then you weren't. You signed to a contract. You weren't promised anything. Just you offered a guarantee. You were offered an opportunity. I almost say something else. So old news, but still news because it's been a while. Judge orders rapper The Game to sell his Calabasas mansion to pay sexual assault accuser. Taylor, 45, who was sued in 2015 by Priscilla Ramey, who alleged the rapper inappropriately touched her during the production of VH1 reality series She's Got Game, when she was a contestant. The Have It or Love It rapper denied the allegations but failed to appear in court in 2016 trial on any related hearings leading to the default judgment. So because he couldn't show up to court, he has
he passed the pirate stuff?
No.
Oh.
I'm covering that last. But because he couldn't show up to court, he cost himself $6 million.
Just on his residuals, he had the money. He should have made that go away for half the price.
Well, the point that I'm making is because he couldn't make the case. He couldn't make the case. Dang. So my takeaway from that, people, is even if you're innocent, go to court. Save them something.
Well, there are lawyers you can pay to go to the court appearance for you. You don't have to be at all court appearances.
Very
if you're
true.
a lawyer.
Very true. But
He can afford a lawyer. His record label should have lawyers. He should have an entertainment lawyer. He should have an agent who can get him a lawyer on call. It's inexcusable. Your stupidity lost. He probably isn't swimming in money like he used to. It's probably better. He got rid of the mansion, but to totally lose it, not get any money on it sucks.
Well, I guess my thought process on this is I've had to hire lawyers because I've been divorced, and there's times where my attorney would hand out the judge, but at the same time there's times where I had to show up to see the judge as well, especially to sign the paperwork.
He's actually in one of my favorite songs, Celebration, with Lil Wayne, and I think one of the Bone Thugs and Harmony members are in Tyga. It's a long song. It's just a celebration.
I don't know about that.
It's a great song. Weezy kills it.
So let's go a little old school. It's been a while, but in case you didn't hear, or in case you don't know, the Pirates security guard that was whipping the fan with his belt in a PNC Park brawl. The Pittsburgh Pirates game in play. It was about a week after the fan fell.
The guest.
A game man play was suspended for an altercation during which he took his belt off and started whipping a fan during the May 4th game against the Padres at the PNC Park. Video captured by a bystander, Kelsey Vogel, shows an employee intervening after the fan and his friend allegedly harassed a female concession stand worker. The guest that got his ass whipped spit on the worker
3 times.
3 times. Well, the first time,
It's hard to
Hold
spit
on.
at someone 3 times.
well, if you want, he spit on the first time after talking trash, and that's when the employee stepped back and they threw 3 punches at him, lit him up. Then the guy spit on him again. He took his belt off and started whipping him. At this point, he's bleeding, so when he spits, he's spitting blood onto his shirt. And kept walking up.
This
So
is the employee or the fan?
the worker, or the guest, spit on the worker 3 times and kept walking up. When he had his back turned,
Got really tough.
it got really tough when he had his buddy walk up to him along with his buddy. Cops eventually arrived, and his buddy became tough and a real caring. His friend that watched his buddy get his ass whooped, then wanted to be a badass.
Hey, it happens at sporting events every year. I remember there was death in like the 49ers Chargers game a bunch of years ago, and Dodgers and Giants. There was death, so this happens.
It honestly reminds me about whenever you talk trash on someone on Facebook, and especially someone you know, and they're real badass on Facebook, but when they're in person, they got nothing to say. It's usually a relative, but whatever.
Can we go to TV time?
Sure.
Okay. 2 series finales since last we were on. The first one is Handmaid's Tale, which is a great show. It's kind of political without saying it's political, but it's based on some stuff in the 80s anyways. There was a movie and a book. But oh my God, Elizabeth Moss, who I think is one of the most talented actresses to ever do it, she kills in her role as June Osborne / Offred / off. God, Wilson? I don't know. She had many names if you learn the show. But it's great. It's the episode before the season finale was really good. And the series finale wrapped it up because they couldn't do it the right way because they're basically going to start another show. So they had to leave some loose ends for the new show. I wasn't too crazy about that, but hey, if the new show's a success, maybe it pays off. But then Star Wars, everybody loves Star Wars, right? Some people don't, but it's very famous. They had what everyone is calling the best Star Wars stuff since the original trilogy. Definitely the best Star Wars show, which I'm like, golly, y'all just dismissing Mandalorian like that. But Andor was supposed to be 5 seasons. Gilroy is a big Hollywood actor. I don't think he wanted to spend 5 years on a show. So they cut and did 2 seasons, 10 episodes each, I believe. And so 20 episodes, and it's great. The ending's great. I suggest you watch the movie Rogue One right after, especially if you've never seen Rogue One.
Good movie.
Yeah, it's a very good movie. With this before it, oh man, it's so better. And so other shows that ended was 1923, the Yellowstone thing.
Oh, that was good.
The ending was crazy.
I don't like.
I didn't like it. But I basically, what they tell in their futures makes it sound like
He had
both the brother who died's wife's gonna be the companion of the Spencer who lost his wife. It's a very good show. Check that out.
That's what you took away from that.
Yeah. It basically says when both of them describe their lives, it sounds like they get together.
No,
He raises the baby.
She moves on to another life. She moved away.
And she comes back, though, is what I'm saying.
They didn't say that, but that's what the takeaway.
That's what a lot of people's takeaway was, just not mine. Mobland, Tom Hardy.
I tried watching that. I couldn't get into it.
It's because you don't like the accents. I love them. It's the great, except I hate the granny character who was the granny character in 1923. She's playing a way different character from the sweet Yellowstone lady.
She's always playing an assassin. What are you talking about? She's in all the Red
old one?
Yeah, she's in the Red
series.
series.
I haven't seen it.
Red movies, sorry.
What she's doing in this show is just so not good for her family. She basically snitched where her son and her stepdaughter were, and told their enemies just killed the stepdaughter. Enemy was smart, he just killed the son. It's a great show, you gotta check it out. This is old, but The Happy Face Killer is a series I watched. It's based on reality, but it's a lot of fiction in it also. But the actors, they all did real good jobs. I liked it. One I haven't seen the ending to, I gotta see Daredevil, so I don't know why I wrote that one down, but Righteous Gemstones also ended. If you're a fan of Eastbound and Down, Vice Principals, what's their other show they did? Anyways, this is some of the best Danny McBride stuff. I love Baby Billy. John Goodman kills it as the father. Everyone in the show. Judy, the sister, is my favorite character. She's a freak. She was in Vice Principals as the girl who liked Danny McBride's character in that, but she plays the sister in this. She's great. I gotta learn her name. If somebody writes for her, she can be one of the funniest female comedian actors ever. So those are the shows basically that have all ended, except Mobland's still going. Check them out. All of them are good binges.
They announced there's actually going to be there's only 2 spin-offs from Yellowstone. One's going to be based on Jimmy, which is in the 4/6s.
It's 1946, right? Or
Jimmy and the 4/6s. Jimmy is alive during John Dutton's time period. But
oh yeah, he's going to the 4/6s ranch. I know about that. Yeah. But they're coming out with a 1940 something show.
1946, but then there's also one
which I think is going to be Spencer and them, and they're young.
I think it's going to be Spencer's child, if you will, because I think they're going to do generational.
Which I think Spencer's child is John Dutton's dad.
Probably.
Because they said he was born small and all that stuff, even though Josh Lucas, who's a taller actor, played him in... Oh, no, Josh Lucas played the younger John Dutton, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
So, did you, by chance, watch the... I started watching last night the Pee Wee Herman documentary.
Okay, well, I'm about to start it. No spoilers. I hear
it's
good, though.
We'll get into it. Come on. Oh, you're about to start it?
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I thought you were about to go over
I about watched it last night.
I started watching it. I thought it was a movie or whatever. No, it's an entire series, apparently.
In pop culture, we have to talk about P. Diddy. I wish this trial was on tape. It'd be as big as the OJ trial. But I guess it's federal. You can't have cameras in federal. That's what my mom told me. I don't know how true that is. But you get to see the little paintings and stuff. But some of the testimonies, both of these lawyers, the defense...
Wait a minute. You can't have federal? What about the fucking OJ trial?
That wasn't federal. That was a state murder case.
How's this? Oh, it says across. This is in 3 different states. So
yeah, it's a RICO case. Federal RICO. But this guy liked to watch the biggest BBCs go at his girls, and then he would take their finished product. She would take their finished product, rub it on his chest, and he would start rubbing it into his nipples. This guy, Diddy, is the freakiest of the freak. I get it. He's probably had so many girls. He has to keep upping it. He has the money. But him taping everybody, he's did a lot of wrongs.
Quit tapping.
Oh boy is going down for something. There's no way he comes out of this unscathed.
I really don't know what he's being... I don't know what he's actually...
Cassie came over there saying, oh, I didn't like it, blah, blah, blah. But then the defense was like, well, in this letter you say this. In this email you said this. You obviously like it.
So how's he being charged with sex trafficking?
This is the whole Hobbs Act, or Man's Act. Hobbs Act or Man's Act. It might be the same thing. When he would take the Craigslist escort men and fly them to New York, that's what would happen. Then he'd have the females, and then that would happen.
Okay.
Then...
Well, the females are of age, so
they all wanted
it. So it's sex trafficking basically because he's hiring a male escort to fuck the girl so he can jerk off to.
It's the thing to get him in court and put it all out there.
Because I mean, all right, that's what
These were all consenting adults. Sounds like.
So he's paying, but he's paying a sex worker.
A lot of people think there's kids involved with that. I have yet to hear anything about that yet. I think they would have brought that up in the beginning.
Yeah, so that's.
So this sounds like an all-adult thing.
So sex trafficking is hiring. He's paying for male. Okay. I remember also the whole Vince McMahon thing where the girl accused him of bricking on her chest, and apparently what's his name John Laurinaitis dropped out of the suit, so therefore it's it's all bunking now.
That girl was looking for a payoff. I don't know.
Yep.
She was a consenting adult. It sounds like too.
So and I wonder if Vince is going to try to buy WWF back from TKO.
He doesn't have enough money. He launched his own company yesterday. It's named after his dad's office in D.C. before his dad made Madison Square Garden. He got an office in there, and then they had to get the headquarters, and then Vince bought the big headquarters. It's called 14th and I think is the name of his company. He's going to try to get like Jericho, who's probably at the end of an AEW deal, to be his hunter and do creative with, and he'll go at guys that he'll have Brock, and he'll try to find some guys to come in, some older guys like Kurt Angle might make an appearance for him, who knows.
So he's pretty much going to be staying on the heels of
But
man famous.
He's going to get the guys who are getting cut by WWE and guys in AEW who aren't happy, and it's good for the boys, more jobs, but I want to know which TV company is going to want to put Vince on. So I think he'll probably have to start on the internet.
Well, Vince had the idea of a streaming service and having his own wrestling channel before.
Yeah.
That was actually
before the network. That's how
before
the
it was
network
actually possible.
became a thing.
All right, so Patriots, actually their first round pick is facing some controversial chopping block to be cut, possibly. Cole Strange has yet to live up to his first round billing during his New England Patriots tenure, and could wind up costing him his job. Don't care about that, but hey, it's possible.
What's he mad they're getting rid of the chop block?
No, he's on the chopping block.
Oh, I thought
they got rid of the chop block.
Go up. I thought that's what they're saying.
No, he's on the chopping block.
Go up and read it. Controversial on chopping block. You're right. Okay. I read it wrong.
According to People, Elon Musk allegedly said he fathered a child with a Japanese pop star. Would give his sperm to anyone to have it, the baby report.
He wants to literally create his own race to go to the moon. All Musk.
Well, this is on People, so
he figures if he has 40 kids, one of them will live up to being an heir.
So this is going to be a controversial topic, but we're not picking sides or going anywhere in there. But it's relevant news. Olympic boxing champ Imane Khalif must undergo genetic sex screen to fight for new governing body.
This is the lady from the Olympics that was whipping up on everyone, and they thought she was a man, but it's not. She just has testosterone in her body or something.
Testosterone as a woman.
Yeah. Which women have testosterone, but hers is like
extremely high.
The man levels.
Which, I get that, which they'll raise a concern, which means
she's going to have to undergo something that blocks it, I guess.
Well, not so that, but it's raised concern for blood doping.
Yeah, because her test will come back high.
World Boxing announced mandatory sex testing for all athletes Friday. The government body specifically mentioned Khalif when announcing the policy, saying Algerian gold medal winner must be screened before she will be approved to fight in any upcoming events, including the Eindhoven Boxing Cup next month in the Netherlands.
Is this one that was born a hermaphrodite but raised a woman?
Yes, and one of my highest viewed videos that I had to take down because it turned out she's born.
Yeah, you went at her. A lot of people did.
Well, a video I posted about it, then once it came out that she was actually born a woman, I took it down because it's irresponsible.
False information.
Well, it's something like that, but. One of my highest views, I hit over 1 million views within a day. So yeah. But the response thing, I took it down and all that stuff, but Yeah, that's her.
Hopefully, she figures out a way to make it smooth sailing eventually.
At the same time, keep in mind too, after I posted that, I realized, wait a minute, I remember China being in WWF, and I was like, yeah, it was, and she was a beast.
And
So,
she was born a woman.
she was just,
She also took performance enhancers and got plastic surgery.
which you also had proof of that in the porno that she did with Sean Waltman, because she had a oversized clit.
Sean said it was like a small peen.
Man, so he was going down on a small peen. What does it say about you?
Them wrestlers are freaks. My favorite porn of her is when she was the Incredible Hulk in the Avengers parody. With the green paint on. You wouldn't like her when she gets angry.
One that I saw was actually a guy that was recreating a whole wrestling ring, and it was one guy that he was pretending to be Gene Okerlund, and he pounded the shit out of him. Let's see, nothing really going on. We'll do better research. I was actually training and working in a different department, so I didn't have time to actually go over content. Jersey Shore, no one cares about.
Justin Bieber dragged for saying he would have got rid of wife Haley if she wasn't hot and resurfaced the clip.
So I said that a long time ago.
You know, I was always like, who is she? When he married her and they were like acting like she's a celebrity. I'm like, what's she a celebrity? Well, she I guess was on a Baldwin reality show. Her dad is Stephen Baldwin. She was Haley Baldwin. So they have like 4 actors, which I thought all of them were good. Her dad played Tuck in 8 Seconds. I feel like he didn't get a lot of jobs because he wasn't Alec. The one that looked like Alec got a couple of roles because Alec turned him down. But
Hunter Biden seen driving Toyota rental in South Africa after his Secret Service detail was terminated.
he better watch out, boy.
Why? He just there signing new deals.
He let some
With his
info
experience.
slide about his Russian deal. It all got out. They're not happy about that. KGB could snuff him out without a service detail. Smoking marijuana and eating both linked to dangerous
And
health
eating
risks.
cannabis gummies with them, dangerous health risks. Study
Okay,
finds.
let's read.
Yeah, this is.
I was told marijuana was so good for you. So what do they say?
Let me put
Heart
this.
disease.
I have found. Here's the thing. You got truth, right? That tells you smoking cigarettes is bad, right?
That's
Truth.
been proven.
No, very true. But truth is, but from a lawsuit from the 90s, the cigarette company is the one that actually has to fund truth. But truth is now saying, truth is one that's the biggest thing against vapes and biggest people about doing marijuana and edibles.
Mm-hmm.
They're being funded by the cigarette company. Who do you think is telling them what to say?
That's the old boy, right, Soros?
No, that's that's the tobacco companies.
Oh yeah. They
So-
have been suppressing stuff, them companies. I researched it around when I was watching Mad Men, and their big company was Lucky Strike, which was basically a parody of Marlboro. And how they fought against all that research forever, and how mad they were when they had to put the warning on, which didn't stop anything. I think until about the 80s, early 90s, smoking was cool, they thought. I never thought it was cool. My mom smokes, and I used to sit in the back seat as a kid, and the smoke would blow back there. I always hated it. I think I got dared to take a puff off one, and I started coughing.
Let me guess, you did not inhale.
Probably not. I was told I didn't inhale. When I would smoke the green lettuce with my friends, I was always told I wasn't doing it right. And I never liked that either. Like, they say getting high. Now, I have a past with opiates. I got high on that. When I would smoke weed, it wasn't high. I was in my brain, like, freaking out. Like, I remember I looked at a poster, and I knew it was of the Gator Stadium, and I knew where my friend had sat. And so I'm trying to find my friend in this poster. And then finally, after an hour, I look and it says like 1974. And my friend wasn't even born yet. And I was like, wow, I just wasted an hour. I would try to eat the food and hope it would wear it off.
So, yeah, I can't do drugs because of my career. So, but.
You don't
And
have
my
a past,
youth.
though?
Huh?
Do you have a past, though, like me?
I can tell a story, a tale of past, but the thing is, ironically, I think one of my followers is a big boss. Oh, good. We're flowing. I read the story where you do an edible and you taste emotions. You taste colors, and you think you do.
I have one more sports topic I want to bring up, and that's the NBA. We got the finals about to start, but the Knicks and Pacers are fighting for the final spot to play OKC. I'm not a Knicks fan, but I know how much better it will be for viewers, sports articles, the New York media, if the Knicks get in. Now, Indiana loves their basketball. Hoosiers basketball was real big. Yeah, I think the Pacers came through the ABA because there was so much love for basketball in that state. But New York is New York. What do they have, 17 million people now or something living there?
It's gone down a lot.
Yeah, a lot of people left during the pandemic.
Well, if you could afford to leave.
But let's say 15 million. Let's say half of them are Knicks fans, regular, and then like happens in Jacksonville when they're good, the city catches the fever.
And what, in New York
That's
City,
like 10 million extra viewers per game for the NBA. That's 10 more people looking at the commercials and all that. Better advertising dollars, more companies in New York. So I'm rooting for New York. I like Karl Anthony Towns. I liked it when they had Randall, but he's gone. But Jalen Brunson's been the star for them. They had the huge win the last game. They're down now 2-3, and they'd have to win 2 games straight to win it. That's going to be hard, especially because at least one of them games will be played by the Pacers. Maybe both of them are.
You said 17 million people live in New York City?
What's it say?
8.5 as of 2023.
Oh. I saw a thing where it was 13 like 10 years ago, but I
Well,
thought
10 years
up.
ago would have been 2015.
I was thinking maybe they would have grown too, but yeah, they got a lot of people left during the pandemic and have left since then because of pricing and stuff.
Nah, that's
I
not,
remember when they were 8 million when I was in high school.
that can't be right.
Hong Kong's got like 32 million people. That place has got to be like roaches.
So in 2020, it was 29 million.
29 million?
Yeah, according to the census.
So they've lost a huge amount. I hear prices, rent's crazy. Most people that do live there are in projects that is government paid for. The real estate is just crazy.
2.3 million
Look
in
how
Queens.
small Staten Island is.
2.7 in Brooklyn.
Yeah, Queens and
1.2
Brooklyn have always been what
Staten
got it
Island,
rocking.
Staten Island's where the money is.
Even though the mafia would be out of Manhattan in the early days, Brooklyn and Queens made it big in the 80s.
Staten Island's the money part. So.
Well, yeah, that's where the rich bosses go out and live. That's where Paul Castellano lived in his White House, which Staten Island's built over a garbage dump.
Irony.
That used to be the garbage dump for New York, but then they flattened it all and put some dirt and sod down and built on top of it. Meghan Markle humiliated online after sharing suspicious picture. I feel bad for Meghan Markle. She's like the new Diana. Which, why isn't Kate the new Diana? But she got shunned like Diana did because she's black. Has black in her, at least. I know she's mixed. I think she was raised by white people.
Yeah, I'm not following that crap. But you know what?
Is that the suspicious pitch? Her
Probably.
feet? They're really messing with her for that picture? What's it, a rabbit eating some of her food, or is that a dog?
That's a dog.
Weird people. Leave Meghan Markle alone.
No, it's the toes. Look at that. It's the toes.
What's wrong with them? They're different shape.
On the left foot or the
Yeah,
left?
I know a girl who has the same problem. She fell off a ladder.
I have the same problem too, but that's what it is. It's the toes. That's the toes.
And they're bullying her about her toes. Way to go,
Oh.
people. Leave her alone. Y'all were trying to mess her up like y'all did Diana. She obviously loves her. Or Harry. Why'd I call him Archie?
Oh, okay. 900 slides and 900 slides.
And her go-to pedicure.
Whatever. Vegas, UFC Vegas 107. Macy Barber's weight misleads parade of issues at official weigh-ins.
I've heard there's been weigh-in problems with a lot of the girl fights. I guess they don't cut as quick as men do.
Or maybe that time hits and then bloated.
Could be.
Atlanta Burger King employee worked on a last-minute shift of his graduation gown.
What this team can teach you. He has a work ethic is what they're going to say.
Yeah, homie, but at the same time, enjoy your day. Well,
I went to a good graduation last week. Shout out Mason. I went all the way to Hinesville, Georgia to watch it. That small city was not ready for that graduation. It was a parking lot getting in there, and the lady that was supposed to be waving us through skipped us twice. I honked on the horn. Amanda's all like, "Oh, don't be honking on the horn." And I honked on it, and then I got out, and then the man got out his car and he waved us through. So the squeaky wheel always gets the grease.
the man pulled out his man card, is what you're saying?
The man was taking a break in his car, and the lady was messing up big
hell?
time.
That was weird. Oh, okay. All right. So, anything else you want to talk about?
No, man, we've covered a lot. Just that you can find me and Jeremy on Josh Talks Pop 85. That's TOKS POP 85.
And if you're watching us on Facebook Live or on YouTube, you can listen to audio on Spotify under what's it called?
Sup, Sports U Pop.
Big Ass Low U Big Pig.
I couldn't find it when I looked the other day. But anyways,
Liar.
okay.
You weren't looking.
I was at work.
Okay. Anyways, we'll see you guys next time.
I'm also on TikTok at Josh Talks Pop 85. I show some clips sometimes, but if you're watching on TikTok, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube. Them numbers are hard to get.
And I always say you're watching on Jeremy Blanton on Facebook. Keep it up. You're getting my views. My followers are climbing. Last time I checked, prior to this recording, I was at 48.5 thousand, which is pretty awesome.
I stopped putting money into my clips. My numbers have been horrible.
You're funding yourself.
I was for a while.
Come on, man.
Hey, I've got some stuff I needed to handle, like my license.
Let your
and the
talent.
cruise.
Let your talent pull the followers.
I
Don't
get
pay
it.
for it.
I get it. Nobody likes me.
I like you.
You
Anyways,
love me.
I love you. Yeah, so we'll see you guys next time. Join us. Maybe we'll record next week. Maybe we won't. We'll see. We're not really heading and doing it every single week unless it's football season. We may not. Just we'll figure it out.
I'd like to get on every other week schedule, maybe, but
That's the
also
plan.
miss some in there. I get it.
I was about to say, then we go to do that every other weekend. I get a text from someone's wife saying he's still sleeping. But we'll figure it out. We'll probably get an episode in. We'll see you next time. Do it that way.
That would have been the draft one, right?
Probably.
All right, y'all. It's been fun, but gee whiz, I gotta run.
Deuces.
Peace.